have Juli Inkster and Jenny Bay, who's this year's recipient of the Juli Inkster Award. Jenny, tell me how excited you are to be here, how honored you are to accept this award with the great Juli Inkster.
Honestly, I'm still really shocked and really fascinated that I'm actually here in person and actually gonna have the chance to play the Portland Classic, which is also my very first LPGA tournament. I mean, it means a lot to get this award, and especially be sitting next to the legend, Juli Inkster. But I mean, I really have to thank you for this, and also Workday for sponsoring this tournament. I mean, really, it gives me a great start to my LPGA debut, and it also brings up my confidence to going in and finishing up the remainder of the Epson Tour season too.
Juli, for you, I'm excited. How excited are you to give Jenny Bay this award? What are your thoughts on her, and all good things?
Yes, you know, she's an amazing player. You know, I got to follow her a little bit from Georgia when she was, you know, creeping up the leaderboard for the highest ranked senior. We've talked a little bit. You know, I'm super shy, so we have trouble. But no, you know, for Workday to help sponsor this award, I mean, coming from the collegiate ranking to LPGA, it's a big jump. And you know, in college, you have everything planned out for you. You know, when to practice, how to travel. You know, you don't have caddies. You carry your own bag. You know, how much should I pay caddies? And my thing is, one, to get these great young ladies to stay in school for 4 years and honor their commitment to their team and their coach and their school. And then from there, to just help them transition from college golf to the LPGA. And you know, to me, I take it personally. It's not just you know, I hand them an award and then move on. To me, if you know Jenny ever needs anything, you know, where to go or who to stay with, or you know, I'm not playing the greatest. I'm struggling, or I'm playing great, and you know, so I'm just there for them. And what's great is my last award winners, we've really built a great connection, and I feel like they can call me anytime. And I know that sometimes it's kind of weird to, you know, I'm calling Juli Inkster, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it that, you know, they're like my set of kids, and I want them to succeed. I want them to be successful. Golf is a super hard game, and you're going to have some peaks and valleys. And you know, it's super humbling, but it's super rewarding, and I really want them to succeed in their dream like I was able to do that myself.
Amazing. Jenny, Juli just talked about the transition from college to pro sports, and I mean, you've been playing a lot on the Epson Tour this year. How has the transition been for you?
I think there's both a little bit of difficulty as well as a bit of, you know, I know how it's gonna go. I kind of know, and I've been taught, you know, how pro life is gonna be. I think that's what the one thing that college does really best is they really set you up. And I think it's a little hard that, you know, once you turn pro, you suddenly have to do everything on your own. But I think once you go in a routine, it kind of becomes a habit, and it becomes a lot easier.
Has there been any advice that Juli or anyone has given you about the transition that has stuck with you?
I think it's just that, you know, they told me, because at first I really freaked out about how I'm going to do this on my own, and there's no coaches and teammates to be next to me. But I think people have been telling me that, you know, it's just going to become a habit. It's going to be a routine. It's just going to be like you're going to warm up it on a range, and you're going to go from the lowest, the wedges, to the drivers. It's going to be the same thing. So they just told me to, you know, take it step by step, and, you know, you're just going to go up there.
What are some of those pieces of advice, Juli, that you give to not just Jenny, but perhaps other players transitioning from college?
Well, I mean, she's done a great job already. She already won 2 tournaments on Epson Tour right out of the block. So I think she knows what she's doing, and I think Georgia really prepared her for the next stage. But it's also, you know, right now it's maybe a little overwhelming. but it'll settle in. I think the main thing is it's, you know, right now I'm sure she's trying to soak in everything, play in everything, practice, but my philosophy is you really need that time to get away from the game and have other outside activities that keeps your mind fresh. And so my thing is yeah, when you're out there you play, but then when you're home you need time to rest, you need downtime, and then you get back to working. It's not about the quantity, it's more about the quality. And so that's kind of what I try to stress to these players just starting out.
Awesome. As you mentioned, Jenny, two-time winner on the Epson Tour this year, and your past recipient, Natasha, also playing really good on the Epson Tour. How much pride does it give you to see their success out there as they're fighting for their LPGA Tour card?
I think it's great. I mean, I think it just says that, you know, these schools really prepare them on and off the court for LPGA life. And, you know, I think they learn a lot about themselves going to school, a lot about, you know, doing their wash and knowing that they can't stay out all night and get to an 8 o'clock class. And I think it builds a lot of confidence in themselves, that when they do run into a bump somewhere along the line, that they'll be able to handle it. So I think the schools have really prepared them, and they're hard workers. I mean, this is what they want to do, and you can tell that this is their passion. And you know, you can't really put a price tag on that. So I'm just looking forward to, you know, them finishing out their Epson Tour, and then, you know, hopefully be on the LPGA next year, and following in them and helping them out as much as I can.
Jenny, as you said, this is your first LPGA Tour event. How has maybe the Epson Tour prepared you for this, and what are your expectations for this week?
I think Epson Tour, one, it's especially the timing and you know, how fast you have to play and all that. It's definitely a bit more quicker than college, and especially when you're out there, you're on your own. And I think that really helped me just kind of think on my own and telling myself to stay patient. And I also feel like, you know, when you're out there, it's one and only, like, it's you and the golf ball. And I think that was I had a little bit of struggle with that the first couple tournaments, but I got used to it. And with, you know, whether I'm by myself or not, I just feel like I'm at home at a golf course.
This week for you must be exciting. Any expectations, not just of yourself, but how this week's going to play out in general?
I think as expectations go, I'm just gonna go out there and try my best on every hole and every shot that I have. Just being able to have this opportunity to participate in this tournament is a huge accomplishment for me. So I think I'm just gonna go out there and try to enjoy myself as best as I can.
Julie,
Yeah, you know, first of all, I want to, you know, I hate to give him props, but I want to thank Tom Alitas for when I brought this up to him and said, you know, I'm starting this Inkster Award, and I'd really like to, you know, have them be able to, you know, have their debut LPGA for the Portland Classic. And he was all in, and it's been great for these gals to get their feet wet before they really start next year on the LPGA. So I'd like to thank the Portland Classic and Tom Alitas for doing this. And, you know, hopefully we can continue it, because I think it's a really great thing to grow college golf and get these kids to really stay for that fourth year and have something to shoot for. And you know, it's still new, we're still growing it, but with Workday and Portland Classic and these amazing players, I think we're just going to keep moving forward.
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask what you thought made the Portland Classic such a great jumping off point for this award and for these players, and you being a past champion.
Yeah, but it's also it's kind of like my home. Jenny, close your ears, but 84 was my first year playing here, and I don't think I've missed one. You know, so it's been in my career, I think I've played everyone. And I know one of my daughters was starting school, and I flew home that day and flew back just to be able to be here. My husband has family here in Milwaukee, and it's just I made the Hall of Fame here in '99, winning the tournament here and being qualified for the Hall of Fame. So it's I consider it my home golf course, my home tournament, and for Portland to do this for me for the Inkster Award and Workday to help me finance it, it's just it all comes together as one.
Amazing. Jeremy has a question. I'm gonna see. Can you unmute him, Russell, or?
I can.
Yeah. Let's. You can. Okay, I will. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead?
Jenny, you talked about the award. Talk to us about that first phone call that you got from Juli, that you were the Inkster Award winner in May.
Yeah. When I first got that phone call from Juli, I did get a heads up a little bit from my coach the night before. He said, "Hey, just make sure you keep your phone on. Make sure you're wide awake. You're gonna get one of the biggest important phone calls of your life tomorrow morning at 9." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was freaking out the entire night, and I woke up super early. I just couldn't sleep, and I got the phone call, and she says, "Hi, I'm Juli Inkster," and she told me and announced the award, and I think I was quiet for about 30 seconds or so.
Are you there?
Yeah, and I was just so in shock. I was like, is this really the Juli Inkster that's on the phone with me right now, telling me I just got the biggest award for a senior? And I was super excited. I was super pumped. After our phone call, I called my coach, I called my parents. I was like, "Guess what just happened and who just called me?" And that day I can almost say it's one of my best mornings that I've ever had in my life.
Amazing. Jeremy, did you have a follow-up to that?
Just one more follow. You mentioned that Coach Josh first let you call. Josh is on the bag caddying for you this week. So talk about that for a little bit. Josh is going to be caddying for you this week.
Your coach caddying for you this week. How does that make you feel?
Well, Josh has always been that type of person in my life where, I can almost call him a dad. I can almost call him one of my favorite people and the most important in my life. I think when he caddied me for Augusta National twice, I think it really calmed me down, especially the second year on the final round. I was shaking. I was like, I am very nervous. And he's like, "You know what? It's just a golf course. It's greens and, tee shots. You're just going to do what you do, and, everything else will take care of itself." And I was like, okay. And, throughout every round that he's been with me, all he does is try to make me laugh, try to make me eat, goof off. And, I think that's just one of the key things for me, because I think I make the sport just as hard as it already is. And having that type of role model and person in my life, I think it's just super, super important.
That's amazing. Well, thank you both, Juli.
Thank you. No, I'm just looking forward to following her career and her achievements, and she's off to a great start. And if JS doesn't mess it up, I think he'll be okay.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here, and good luck this week, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.